G'day guys, I'm Mini Warpainter. In this video, as promised, I'm going to give you yet another review on a paint set by Scale 75, Metals and Alchemy, the Steel series. After checking out the Gold series, I've been excited about breaking into the Silver paint set and seeing if I can take my metallics to the next level. I'll catch you after the intro. For those of you that are unaware, a few weeks ago I did a review on another paint set by Scale 75, Metals and Alchemy, the Gold series. So if you enjoy this type of review, I recommend you go check it out next, as I talk a little bit more about what other paint sets that Scale 75 have. Now let's get on with the review. Scale 75, the Steel series. So here it is guys, yet again another well presented box. Here you can see there's a picture of a dwarf cladded in impressive steel armour, probably hand forged by himself. Already from this picture of the cold blue steel armour, you get a sense that you're going to experience slightly different hues of metallics in this set than to that you may have been used to provided by the Citadel range. If you're not familiar with my style of painting, I very much love trying to paint reflective polished metallic details when steel or gold is involved. This is because of the opportunity to show contrast in texture, as these details are often next to something rough and dull like leather, or in the case of the picture, encasing the subtle presentation of a face, which light smoothly diffuses across, in contrast to the polished armour engulfing it. It's contrast in texture presented in this way that makes the model far more interesting to look at, something you will want if you ever paint for competitions. Now let's break the seal off and take a look on the back. Looking at the back, just when you thought there was only one way you could paint silver, there's a good range of silver tones, and I reckon when used together, I bet you could achieve some interesting metallic effects. You can see for yourself by looking at the illustrations below of what you could achieve with using this paint range. If you look here at my Exalted Sorcerer's backpack, notice the metallics I've painted that complement the gold feathers. I based these metallics with a 1-to-1 mix of the purple from this paint set, which I'll introduce later, and with the Kunzite Alchemy from the Gold series paint set. I then took advantage of the embossed details of the area and dry brushed a selection of these silvers, which I'll run you through when I start testing the paints out on my wet palette. Now let's crack this box open. I'm just going to go over the names of the paints. We've got Black Metal, Thrash Metal, Heavy Metal, Speed Metal, White Alchemy, Cobalt Alchemy, Emerald Alchemy, and finally Amethyst Alchemy. What I'll do now is I'll take each paint and drop a dollop on my wet palette so that I can take my paintbrush and just check the consistency of each paint. I don't know about you guys, but I can't stand it when the pigment of a colour just separates when you add a little water to it. Just to confirm though, I'm no paint scientist, so I've no doubt should any paint react poorly for any reason, it's more likely to be some error on my behalf. I guess really I'm just looking for an excuse to buy some new paints. So first we've got Black Metal, Thrash Metal, Heavy Metal, Speed Metal, White Alchemy, Cobalt Alchemy, Emerald Alchemy, and finally Amethyst Alchemy. And I can honestly say I don't have a problem with any of the paints. The white alchemy seemed rather watery however, but then again you're highly unlikely going to use that tone as a base coat, so I think we can give that a thumbs up, as it's more likely going to be your final highlight on any metallic project, so is more than likely to be designed to be thin. Moving on now, after assessing which colours would do well together, I'm going to do some mixing to get a better understanding of what I could get out of this paint set. So I'll start first with mixing some black metal with thrash metal and build my transitions up through heavy metal, speed metal and finally white alchemy. To me, these tones are obvious for one another under the most extreme circumstances. What I mean by this is that if you were painting an area small enough, this may render the use of a gradual transition of each tone unworkable, so you need to skip a tone or two. Which tone to skip however is down to you. Remember, good decisions are made from experience, and experience is from making bad decisions. So get stuck in. I'll now move on to my next transition of tones, starting with Amethyst Alchemy, which has a purple dark hue to it, then Cobalt Alchemy, which has more of a bluish hue to it, then Emerald Alchemy, which has a green hue to it. And finally topping it off with white alchemy. Straight away, I'm convinced that these tones are brilliant. The first range goes practically from black through to white, and the other paints to me are a way of changing the colour properties of the former said paints. So you've got Cobalt Alchemy, which will give you a cold power sword blue tone. You've got Emerald Alchemy, which will give you possibly a warmer sense to your metallic tones. And you've got Amethyst Alchemy, which may give you your enchanted metal appearance. So if you can't find the tones you're after using this set, then you could possibly agree you're doing something wrong. If you're looking now to my backpack again, I'll explain to you that it was Amethyst Alchemy I mixed with Kunzite Alchemy to base these metallics, followed by a dry brush of heavy steel, hoping to catch the embossed details on the model. And where the area is more hidden from the light, I glazed in some thrash metal followed by black metal, right in the corner. Job's a good one. And that concludes this review. Fantastic set of paints. Can't wait to try them out on something that poses more of a challenge. I acquired this set from Element Games for around £30. I say acquired, but what I really mean is I sent my mum a link. Cheers again, mum. If you enjoyed this type of review, let me know down in the comments below. If you hated this kind of review, do the same. I don't do these reviews just so I can sit at home and listen to myself talk. I do them for you guys as well. Get in touch if there's anything you'd like me to cover in the future. As I look forward, my current project is this Exalted Sorcerer, to which I'm sure I can delegate some aspect of to paint using this paint set, in order to provide you further information you may well need to help decide if this paint set is for you. My next review for Scale 75 will most likely be on their non-metallic range, as I have a huge keenness for painting non-metallic metals on some future projects I've in mind, so be sure to keep an eye out. Thanks for watching guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you've anything to add, please don't hesitate to comment down below. If you're on Instagram, you can find me at miniwar_painter. Here you can follow my progression, as I like to post regularly on my stories. Don't forget to subscribe and don't be shy to mix those paints. Ta-ra!